I promise you, if you will watch this video carefully and just spend 1 hour on your profile, you will get to know whether you have a chance of getting immigration directly from your home country. And for this, we are going to assume three different profiles and we'll calculate the CRS score for all three of them. We have Alex here. He's 20 years old. So Alex has a very high possibility of getting ITA under the French category. That's the power of French. Hey everyone, my name is Zunair and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be very useful and beneficial for anyone who has ever thought of coming to Canada to study, or for those considering immigrating to Canada but are not sure what are their chances and what options are available. I moved here as an international student in 2022. Last year I completed my master program and now I am working full time. Over the last 3 years, so many people have approached me asking for advice about their chances of immigrating to Canada from their home country. Unfortunately, few of them approached local agents and consultants who asked them for 15 to 20 lakhs, claiming that they will get their Canadian PR within few months. A few people, especially in Gulf area, have fallen for these scams and lost thousands of dollars to these so-called agents. So I decided to make this video to give you a clear understanding how Canadian immigration works, its different streams, and how you can check your chances yourself. I promise you, if you will watch this video carefully and just spend 1 hour on your profile, you will get to know whether you have a chance of getting immigration directly from your home country, and if not, what other options are available and how you can improve your CRS score in future. So I have divided this video in three main parts. In the first part, we will discuss different pathways of immigration to Canada. Express entry is one of the most famous one, and there are few other non-express entry streams as well. We will discuss those. In the second part, I will show you how to check your eligibility. Eligibility is the minimum criteria and CRS score comes after that. In the third part, I will show you how to check your CRS score. We are going to consider three different profiles so that we can cover a diverse set of profiles that you guys would have and how to compare your CRS score with the latest express entry draws. Without further ado, let's start with the first part. So overall, we can divide different pathways into two main categories, express entry and the non-express entry. Express entry is the most famous one, and I believe right now it is the only pathway to get Canadian immigration directly from home country. First of all, why is it called express entry? As clear from its name, express means fast. So it is one of the fastest way to get your Canadian immigration. Canada immigration target for 2025 is 395,000 profiles or candidates, and out of this 232,000 is through economic pathway, and express entry is 80 to 90% of this economic pathway. In this system, you will create your interest first. That is called express entry profile. And by the way, it's totally free to create your express entry profile. You don't have to pay anyone anything. Once your profile is created, based on your credentials, your CRS score will be calculated and your profile will be entered in a pool that is called Express Entry Pool. And IRCC will conduct draw from that pool and will send ITAs. ITAs stand for invitation to apply, and let's say they selected 5,000 candidates that have CRS scores of 520 and above. And once you receive your ITA, you will have 60 days to submit your completed application along with all required documents. Once your application is submitted, IRCC will usually take 6 months to process your application, and if you are eligible and have the required CRS score, you will be granted your PR in just 6 months. That is Express Entry 101. Then comes the non-express entry streams, and major one among them is family reunion. It is also called spousal sponsorship. If your spouse is a PR or a Canadian citizen, they can sponsor their husband or wife provided that they meet few requirements to sponsor their spouse. In the same way, Canadian citizens or PR holders can sponsor their parents or grandparents if they meet the eligibility requirements, but this process is through a lottery system. Apart from that, few of the provinces have non-express entry streams. Atlantic immigration and rural immigration is also through non-express entry stream, but they invite very few individuals throughout the year, and in all cases you need a job offer from an authorized employer, and you need 1 year of experience, and you must be living in those provinces or communities. And processing time for non-express entry stream right now is about 2 years. And as I told you, you must be inside Canada, have some experience in these communities or provinces to qualify for these. So if you are in your home country right now, you have very minimal chances to get your immigration through these non-express entry streams. In express entry itself, there are three different categories. First one is FSW. This is the general one where almost all of the professions are eligible. Professions like engineers, doctors, accountants, marketing managers are covered in FSW. Then we have FST, Federal Skilled Trade. So Canada has a different category for trades. So occupations like auto mechanic, carpenter, bricklayers, plumber, electricians are covered in it. FST has low CRS requirement in comparison to FSW, and they also have different eligibility requirements as well. And the third one is CEC, Canadian Experience Class. And in order to qualify in this category, you need at least 1 year of Canadian work experience. So right now, I believe you would have a basic understanding of Canadian immigration pathways and express entry system. Now let's move to the second part, that is how to check your eligibility for express entry. I would like to explain what I mean by eligibility through an example. When you pass your plus 2 or 12th grade and you apply for admission in a university program, and that university has a minimum admission requirement that is usually around 60%, and then they have a merit criteria that is way higher than the minimum admission requirement. So minimum admission criteria in case of express entry is very low. For example, for FSW, which is Federal Skilled Worker, you only need 1 year of experience in your home country, an education of high school or above, and then CLB 7 to apply for FSW. Same goes for CEC, you need CLB 7, only 1 year of experience in Canada, and there is no education requirement. For FST, you need CLB 4 and you need to have 2 years of experience and a job offer in Canada to apply for FST. But the actual merit criteria, which is CRS score in case of express entry, is way high. Right now, it is in the range of 500 plus or 480 plus for few streams. The reason I am stressing on this a lot is few of the people that have approached me in the past have shared stories that agents have calculated their eligibility score in front of them and told them that they are eligible for Canadian immigration. Just submit the first installment and they will initiate their immigration file. That's totally wrong and it's a scam. Now let's check your eligibility score. For that, we will move to my laptop, write express entry eligibility on Google and click on the first link, that is canada.ca link. When you will click on that link, you will land on this page. This page has information about the different immigration programs in express entry. As I told you, there are three different streams: Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker Program, and Federal Skilled Trade Program. All these three programs have different eligibility requirements. Before checking eligibility for these programs, we need to be aware of these three terminologies used in express entry. First, we have Canadian Language Benchmark, also known as CLB. CLB is used to gauge your English language ability. In order to check your CLB level, you will open Canada.ca website, and in case of CELPIP General, you will score CLB level of 7 if you have 7 in all areas of language. In case of IELTS General, in order to have CLB level of 7, you need to score 6 in all 4 language skills. Same goes for PTE Core, and if you have given TEF or TCF for your French proficiency, you can also check CLB level here as well. So this table is used to check your CLB level. Now we will move back to eligibility criteria. Next two terms are knock code and tier category. So this is a topic for an entire different video, and I am going to cover this in my next video, how to check your knock code and in which tier category you will fall. For the sake of this video, I will just cover the basics of it. National Occupation Classification, or a knock code, is a specific number for a specific profession. Electrical engineers, accountants, chemical engineers have different knock codes, and knowing your knock code is very crucial, because once you know your knock code, you will get to know in which categories of FSW you are eligible for. For tier category, Canada has divided all of its occupations in 6 different categories depending on training, education, experience, and responsibilities requirement. Out of these 6 categories, Tier 0 to 4 are eligible for express entry, Tier 5 and 6 are not eligible for express entry. Now that we know the basics of these 3 terminologies, let's check the eligibility of the programs against these 5 criteria. First one is language skills. For Canadian experience class, CLB 7 is the requirement for Tier 0 or Tier 1 occupations, and CLB 5 is the minimum requirement for Tier 2 or Tier 3 occupations. Remember, I told you Tier 0, 1, 2, 3 are eligible for express entry, Tier 4 and 5 are not eligible. For federal skilled worker, you need to have a minimum of CLB 7. And for federal skilled trade program, you need to have CLB 5 for speaking and listening, CLB 4 for reading and writing. So these are the language skills requirement for these programs. Now move to type of work experience. For Canadian experience class, you need at least 1 year of Canadian experience in one of these tier categories. Same goes for federal skilled worker. You can have 1 year of experience anywhere in the world, but in these tier categories. For federal skilled trade, you need at least 2 years of skilled trade experience in one of the knock codes mentioned here. Amount of work experience required. For CC class, you need at least 1 year of in Canada experience within last 3 years. For Federal Skilled Worker Program, you need 1 year of continuous experience within last 10 years anywhere in the world. For Federal Skilled Trade Program, you need at least 2 years of experience within last 5 years in skilled trades. Now we will move to the job offer requirement. You don't need to have any kind of job offer in Canadian experience class and federal skilled worker, but having a valid job offer in FSW program will improve your CRS score. For federal skilled trade program, you need to have a valid job offer from an employer for a period of at least 1 year, or you need to have a certificate of qualification. Certificate of qualification is another name of license that you require to practice in that skill trade. Fifth criteria is education requirement. There is no minimum education requirement to be eligible in Canadian experience class. For federal skilled worker program, you need at least secondary education or plus 2 or high school. Having a post-secondary education will definitely improve your CRS score in this category. For federal skilled trade program, there is no minimum education requirement to be eligible in this category. There is another eligibility criteria for federal skilled worker and federal skilled trade, that is called proof of available funds. In order to be eligible in these two programs, you need to have minimum amount in your account as shown in this table. It depends on your family size. For example, if you are a family of 4, you need to have at least 27,297 Canadian dollar available in your account. So that's all about the eligibility requirement for express entry. If it seems confusing, you can click on this link on option 1 and fill out the questionnaire to see if you are eligible for express entry or not. I will just summarize the eligibility requirement for Federal Skilled Worker Program because it is more general and almost every occupation is eligible in it. For language skills, you need at least CLB 7. Type of work experience, you need to have 1 year of continuous work experience within last 10 years anywhere in the world. You don't need a job offer and you need to have a minimum of high school, plus 2 or 12th grade in order to be eligible in FSW category. If you have any question regarding the eligibility and wants to discuss your profile, you can always book a call with me and I would be happy to answer your individual questions there. Now let's move to the third part of the video, that is calculating your CRS score. And for this we are going to assume three different profiles and we'll calculate the CRS score for all three of them, and then in the end we will compare their CRS score with the latest express entry draws happen within last 1 year or 1.5 years. We have Alex here. He's 20 years old. He has a master's degree in engineering. He has been working for 3 years as an engineer, as a foreign work experience, not in Canada. He has a CLB 9 in Celpip and he is single. Let's calculate CRS score for Alex. For that, type CRS score calculator on Google and click on this first link. Make sure it's canada.ca link. Do not click on these below links that are from immigration firms. They will take your information and in the end will ask for your email ID or phone number to share your CRS score or results with you. Once you will click on this link, you will land on this page and you will find CRS score calculator here. Let's calculate CRS score for Alex. So what is your marital status? So Alex is never married or single. How old are you? He is 28 years old. What is your level of education? So he has a master degree. Have you earned a Canadian degree? So you don't have any Canadian degree, so we will select no. Official languages. Are your test results less than 2 years old? So your test results should be within last 2 years. After 2 years, they expire. So we will select yes. And what language test? So he gave the CELPIP general, and he has CLB 9. So we will select 9 in all these areas. Do you have any other language skills? So we will select no. Work experience. In last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? So he don't have any Canadian work experience, so we will select none or less than 1 year. In last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? So he has 3 years of work experience. We will select 3 years or more. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province, territory, or federal body? As I told you, certificate of qualification is for skilled trades. It's kind of a license that allows you to practice in that specific skill trade. In his case, he don't have any certificate of qualification. Do you have a valid job offer supported by LMIA? So a valid job offer is always supported by LMIA, or if it is an arranged employment through an intra-company transfer, then we can claim points for this question. Apart from that, we cannot claim points for normal job offers that we have in Canada. In case of Alex and most 90% of the cases, we will select no here. Do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? So nomination certificates are issued by provinces under their PNP program. And for that, you need to live there for at least 1 year and you must have a job offer in that province. So in most of the cases, it would be no. And with current immigration situations in Canada, provinces are not nominating individuals outside Canada. So we will select no here. Do you or your spouse have at least one brother or sister living in Canada who is citizen or permanent resident? So if one of your sibling is already in Canada who is 18 years old and they are permanent resident or Canadian citizen, then you get additional 15 points. So in case of Alex, we will select no, and let's calculate his CRS score. As you can see at the bottom, he has total CRS score of 469. We will compare this score with the previous draws in general category in a while, but let's first try to increase Alex's score. I would like to show you the power of, or in fact the magic of French. Let's assume Alex has CLB 9 in French as well. Here is it. Do you have other language result for your second official language? We will select yes here, TF Canada, and we will select CLB 9 here. Now let's recalculate Alex points. We will click on this calculate your CRS score again, and as you can see 568. So he almost got a boost of 100 points. His previous score was 469, and after adding French points, his CRS score jumped to 568. That's the power or magic of French. Now let's discuss the second profile. We have Nick here. He is 26 years old. He has a master in pharmacy. He has been working as a pharmacist for 2 years as a foreign work experience. He has scored CLB 10 in CELPIP. He is married. His spouse has a bachelor degree in psychology and she has scored CLB 9 in CELPIP. Let's calculate their CRS score. We will go to the same canada.ca page to calculate the CRS score. So, what is your marital status? They are married. Is your spouse or common law partner is a citizen or permanent resident of Canada? In their case, no. Will your spouse or common law partner come with you to Canada? We will select yes. How old are you? So Nick is 26 years old. By the way, just to let you know, once you pass 29, you will lose 5 points each year. So in case of Nick, he is 26 years old. What is your level of education? He has master's degree. Have you earned a Canadian degree? No. Official language. So are your test results less than 2 years old? Yes. If they are more than 2 years old, then they are not valid. Which language test you take? CELPIP, and he has CLB 10. So we will select 10 in all these areas of language. Do you have other language results? We will select no here. In last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? So in case of Nick, he doesn't have any Canadian work experience. In last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? So in case of Nick, he has been working as a pharmacist for 2 years, so he would have 2 years of foreign work experience. Do you have a certificate of qualification? We will select no. Do you have a valid job offer? No. Do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? We will select no. Do you or your spouse have at least one brother or sister living in Canada? We will select no. What is the highest level of education for which your spouse has earned a Canadian degree or had an educational credential assessment (ECA) from an approved agency? It is normally from WES. So in case of Nick, his spouse have a bachelor degree in psychology, so we will select bachelor degree here. In last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada does your spouse have? So in case of Nick, his spouse doesn't have any in Canada work experience, so we will select none or less than a year. Did your spouse or common law partner take a language test? Yes, so she took CELPIP and she had scored CLB 9, so we will select 9 here in all these areas and we will calculate the score. So CRS score for them is 457. We will compare this score with the previous draws and I will show even with this score that is considered a low score right now, they still have a chance to get the Canadian PR from their home country. Now let's discuss the third profile. It is a bit complex. So we have John here. He's 34 years old. He has a master's degree in engineering from Canada. He has been working in Canada for 1 year and he has 4 years of foreign work experience. He scored CLB 10 in CELPIP. He is married. His spouse has a master in engineering and she has been working for 1 year in Canada and she has CLB 9 in CELPIP. Let's calculate CRS score for them. We are back on this CRS score calculator. What is your marital status? They are married. Is your spouse or common law partner is a citizen or permanent resident? No. Will your spouse come with you to Canada? Yes, they would be accompanying us. How old are you? So John is 34 years old. As I told you, after 29, you lose 5 points every year. What is your level of education? Earn a Canadian degree. So he has a master's degree from Canada. Have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? So in case of John, he has a master's degree from Canada. So we will select yes. Choose the best answer to describe this level of education. So he has a master's degree, so we will select the third option here. Official languages. Are your test results less than 2 years old? Yes. What language test did you take? CELPIP. And John scored CLB 10. Do you have any other language results? No. Work experience. In last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? So he has 1 year of Canadian work experience. 1 year here. In last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? So he has 4 years of foreign work experience. So we will select 3 years or more. Do you have a certificate of qualification? No. Do you have a valid job offer? No. Although he has been working in Canada for last 1 year, but that job offer is not considered a valid job offer because that is not supported by LMIA or that is not an intra-company transfer. So we will select no here. Do you have a nomination certificate? No. Do you or your spouse have at least one brother or sister? We will select no. What is the highest level of education for your spouse or common law partner has earned a Canadian degree or had an educational credential assessment ECA? So his spouse has master degree. In last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada does your spouse have? So she has 1 year of skilled Canadian work experience. Did your spouse or common law partner take a language test? Yes, she took CELPIP and she scored CLB 9. And let's calculate score for them. So their total score is 529. Now let's see what was the lowest cutoff score for few of the latest express entry draws and the three profiles for which we have calculated CRS score today. Which one of them has the highest chance of getting Canadian immigration? For that, we will type express entry rounds of invitation and we'll click on the first link, that is canada.ca link. Let's open that. On this page you will have latest round on the top. So this is the latest round that happened on May 13, 2025. It was a CEC or Canadian Experience class and number of invitation issued were 500 and the CRS score of the lowest ranked candidate was 547. It's a very high score, and if you will scroll bottom and click on this check previous rounds, it will open the details of all previous rounds. As you can see here, this one is the top one or the latest one, Canadian Experience class, issued invitations or number of ITAs 500 and the CRS score of the lowest candidate was 547. Now we will compare the CRS score of all three profiles that we have calculated earlier. First of all, we have Alex. Alex has a CRS score of 469 and Alex is only eligible in FSW, Federal Skilled Worker, because he don't have any Canadian experience and also he don't have any skilled trade experience. So let's find out what was the lowest CRS score of last FSW draw that was conducted. On April 23, 2024, there was a general draw. So FSW is also known as general category. So in this particular draw, they invited 2095 candidates and the CRS score or the lowest ranked candidate was 529. Remember, Alex has a CRS score of 469. So Alex doesn't have any possibility of getting ITA under general category. As you can see, the previous general draws were at 549, 524, 534, and then 535. The lowest it went up to 524. So Alex cannot get an ITA under general category or FSW category. Now let's compare his score with French points and see where he stands. As you remember, with inclusion of French, his CRS score was 568. The last French draw was conducted on March 21st, 2025. They invited 7,500 candidates in this draw, and the lowest score was 379. Alex Sierra score with French points is 568. When you have NCLC level of 7 in French language, you are eligible in French category draws. And if we see the previous French draws, the score was 410, 428, and 466. So Alice has a very high possibility of getting ITA under the French category. That's the power of French. French is a second official language of Canada, and Canadian government has a target of increasing their French population or the French immigration up to 12% in coming years. So French will remain the hot priority in next coming years. Now let's compare the CRS score of second profile, that is Nick. Before that, just a suggestion: when you are comparing your CRS score with the previous draws, I will suggest you take an average of last 5 draws in the same category and compare your score. If there is a difference of only 10 to 20 points from the average of last 5 draws, I will suggest you should create your Express Entry profile right away. You have very bright chances of getting ITA in the next few draws. Coming back to Nick, his CRS score as we calculated is 457, and he is eligible in Federal Skilled Worker or General category. As we have seen earlier, the score for general category draw is above 500, and there was no general category draw conducted within last 1 year. This is because the Canadian government immigration's priority has changed. Now they are focusing more on the candidates that are already in Canada. So Nick has no chance of getting ITA under FSW or general category, but as I told you, getting to know your knock code is very critical, as once you know your knock code, then you can see in which other categories you are eligible for. Nick was working as a pharmacist for last 2 years, and luckily that comes under the healthcare draw. In order to be eligible for healthcare draw, you need to be working under your occupation for at least 6 months. So let's see if he has any chance of getting IT under the healthcare draw. So latest healthcare draw was on May 2nd, 2025, and the series score was 510 for this particular draw. And the draw previous to that was on November 20th, 2024, and the series score for this draw was 463. If we go further back, on 5th of July 2024, there was a healthcare occupation draw, and the CRS score for this draw was only 445. Nick has a CRS score of 457. I would say Nick still has a chance, but if he can further improve his CRS score by improving his language skills or by gaining more experience, he has a better chance of getting ITA under healthcare draw. How you will know if your knock code is eligible under the healthcare draw? For that you will click on this serial number, and at the bottom you will find all the knock codes that are eligible under the healthcare draw. There are 30 plus knock codes that are eligible under the healthcare draw, and pharmacist is one of them. So you can go through this list for the details of all the knock codes that are eligible under the healthcare draw. Now let's compare the CRS score of John. He has a CRS score of 529, and he has been working in Canada for more than a year. So that makes him eligible for CEC class or Canadian Experience class. So last draw that was conducted on May 13, 2025, the lowest CRS score was 547. But in this particular draw, they invited only 500 people. Let's see draws previous to that. We have one CEC draw that was conducted on 5th of Feb 2025. They invited 4,000 candidates in it, and the CRS score of lowest ranked candidate was 521. and draw previous to that, its lowest score is 527, and John's score is 529. I would say he has very high chances of getting ITA under the CEC class. And also, this high score is due to LMIA points, when candidates could claim 50 points for having an LMIA. Now IRCC has removed those points, so there are chances that CC score will go down in future. So that's how you calculate your CRS score and then check chances of getting an ITA in next upcoming draws. Once again, after watching this video, I will suggest you just spend 1 hour on your profile, calculate your CRS score, get to know your knock code, and see in which categories you are eligible for. Compare your CRS score with those categories, and if your CRS score is higher than the last draw or last 5 draws, I will suggest you should create your express entry profile right away and you will get your ITA. But if your CRS score is less than that, well, in that case, there are ways that you can improve your CRS score. And let me know your CRS score in the comment section and the categories in which you are eligible for. If you have any other question or you want to discuss your individual profile, feel free to reach out. If you would like, you can also book a call with me. We can review your profile together and draft a clear pathway for next 1 to 2 years and get you started on your Canadian immigration journey. So that was it. In my next video, I will show you how to check your knock code. So subscribe to my channel, give it a like, and I will see you in the next video.